Yes, Senator Marcoleta is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is in regard to the list of invited guests, Mr. Chair. In the last hearing, I intimated my desire to invite also SunWest, considering that it is the company founded by Congressman Saldico, where his name was also very much floated in this hearing. First, it was mentioned in the sworn statement of the Discayas. It was mentioned by Representative Toby Tiangco, and very lately he was also mentioned by Engineer Alcantara. I intimated that desire in the last hearing, Mr. Chair. And also, I also asked whether Mr. Chavit Singson will be advised during this very hearing, Mr. Chair. I remember Vice Chair Erwin Tulpo confirmed us and said that he will advise you of this request, Mr. Chair. These are all requested. These are all captured in on page 207 of our transcript, Mr. Chair. So I wonder if the committee had made the invitations properly, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I wasn't informed, Your Honor, but next hearing we will invite them, definitely.
So, thank you.
Likewise, Mr. Chair. Sir.
Yes,
also,
Senator Jerry.
administrative, also if we can invite again Regional Director Palacan kasi medyo malaki po yung napunta sa Mindoro if hindi pa siya sumaharap. Panay Bulacan po kasi, malaki-laki rin po yung nailagay doon. I think a total of 40 billion. And also, si Congressman Toby Tiangco, I think his revelations during the first hearing were very revealing. If he can be invited. Nahiya po siya pumunta. Sabi niya kasi he was not invited. Baka sabihin, epal siya. But I think he can help a lot.
Yes, we will also invite him or ilan ba, JB? Only one?
Ayan, si Toby Tiangco and Panakan and siguro yung mga
Yes.
taga Mindoro.
We'll invite them in the next
Thank you,
hearing.
Mr. Chair.
Mr.
Okay.
Chair?
Yes, Senator De La Rosa.
So, hindi pala ito ang last hearing natin. Meron pa tayong kasunod na hearing.
Definitely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
And
So-
Mr. Chair, lastly, may I confirm if the chairman made an announcement that Mr. Saldico will not be invited?
Yes, as you know, you have been a congressman for many years. There's what we call interparliamentary courtesy. We do not invite or summon members of Congress in the same manner that they don't invite senators to their hearings. It is up to the congressmen or senators concerned to appear before their inquiries in aid of legislation. That is a tradition.
Yes, Mr.
And
Chair.
that tradition is not accorded to individual members of Congress of either house. It is accorded to the institution.
Yes,
Is that, yeah.
you will.
Yeah, but if he is expelled, then we'll invite him. He's no longer member of Congress.
Representative Chanco was not expelled, Mr. Chair, but
Yes, but he is
When he was
voluntarily,
invited,
he is voluntarily appearing before the committee.
yes, but there was an invitation.
No, we did not extend any invitation to
I was the
Representative-
one who invited him
Well,
when I was the chairman.
You can speak for yourself.
Yes, that's why. He can be invited. There is no violation of interparliamentary.
Anyway, that's water under the bridge. He will appear, I think, anytime now because he was informed by Senator Ejercito. So can we just proceed?
Hindi,
We have a long
sinasabi ko
day.
po yung tungkol kay Mr. Saldico.
All
Kung
right.
sakaling halimbawa nandito siya, we can invite him.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No issue there. Okay, so today we will hear the testimony.
Ito po, magandang umaga mga kababayan. Itong umaga na naman po, ang aga-aga. Ito, nakita niyo po yung sagutan kagad na itong si Senator Ping Lacson at si Senator Marcoleta. Panoorin natin ang susunod na video mga kababayan.
Of Mr. or former Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo. Kindly stand up so your oath will be administered by the Director General of the group.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take your seat.
Thank you. Are you ready to make your statement?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
You may proceed.
Dear Senator Lacson and honorable members of the Blue Ribbon Committee, I am Roberto Bernardo, formerly an Undersecretary for Operations of the Department of Public Works and Highways, Dpwh. I was summoned to appear today before the Honorable Blue Ribbon Committee and required to testify in connection with its ongoing inquiry in aid of legislation into the reported anomalies in certain DPWH projects, flood control projects. Bago ko po ilahad ang aking nalalaman sa mga bagay na nais tumbukin ng kagalang-galang na Blue Ribbon Committee, ako po ay umaamin sa aking maling nagawa. Ako po ay hindi naging matatag at tapat sa pagpapatupad ng tungkulin na ipinagkatiwala sa akin ng ating pamahalaan at sambayanan. Taus-puso at puno ng pagsisisi na ako po ay humihingi ng kapatawaran sa Diyos, sa ating bansa at mga kababayan, gayon din sa aking pamilya, mga kaibigan at sa lahat ng aking binigo. Nakagawa po ako ng pagkakamali at pinahintulutan ko po ang aking sarili na maging kasangkapan sa pagpapatupad ng isang masamang gawain. Handa po akong gawin ang lahat ng nararapat upang maiwasto ang aking kamalian at maiwasan na ito'y mangyaring muli. I wish to assure the Honorable Blue Ribbon Committee of my full cooperation with the investigation. I am submitting an affidavit outlining my knowledge and of and involvement in certain events material to the subject of investigation. Moreover, I will disclose and expound on related incidents within my personal knowledge, mindful not only of the materiality of my testimony, but also of my rights, as well as fearful of what effects my disclosures will have on my family's safety and well-being. I have applied before the Department of Justice for coverage as a state witness under Republic Act number 6981, otherwise known as Witness Protection, Security and Benefit Act. I hope the Honorable Blue Ribbon Committee will find merit in my application and favorably endorse the same to the DOJ. With the assurance of the Honorable Blue Ribbon Committee that my rights and benefits under RA 6981 shall be respected, I am prepared to submit the aforesaid affidavit to Honorable Blue Ribbon Committee and swear to and testify on the same, with the approval of the Honorable DOJ Secretary on the disclosure thereof for such purposes. The highly sensitive nature of the disclosures made in my affidavit cannot be stressed enough. These deal with involvement in irregularities of 4 senators and 1 congressman, 1 member of a constitutional commission, and 1 undersecretary, seriously undermining public trust in 2 out of 3 branches of our government and a constitutional body, thereby posing a significant threat to our national security as it may lead to political instability, which may weaken the ability of the government to function effectively. 25 of September 2025, Makati City, Metro Manila.
Ito na po mga kababayan, si Secretary Roberto Bernardo. Pakinggan po natin yung kanyang testimony dito sa Senate Blue hearing dito sa Senado ngayong araw na to mga kababayan.
And this, Mr. Chair, signed na po ito.
Okay. May we hear from Secretary Remulla since he mentioned about his application for admission into the program?
Your Honor, we will have to evaluate his statements in relation to all the other testimonies that we have gathered in the DOJ and in the Blue Ribbon Committee.
The Senate President,
Mr. Chairman,
Guzman.
yeah. We would like to listen to your sworn affidavit, if you have one, or an affidavit that you will swear to complete the disclosure that you're talking about. Otherwise, those are mere general statements. Please, thank you.
Yes, Mr. President, Mr. Chair, may I be allowed to read the
Yes, you may proceed, Yusek Bernardo.
Affidavit. I, Roberto R. Bernardo, Filipino, of legal age, a resident of Malolos City, Bulacan, under oath, depose and state. In connection with the ongoing Senate Blue Ribbon Committee investigations, I intend to submit this affidavit which provides details of my knowledge about matters within my jurisdiction relating to flood control projects when I was still serving as Undersecretary for Operations of the Department of Public Works and Highways. This affidavit lays out details.
Sorry, excuse me. You have your counsel now with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, po,
Okay,
Mr.
on
Chair.
record. Okay.
This affidavit lays out details of the involvement of legislators as well as other government officials with a commitment on my part to expand these disclosures as my best recollection of facts and records may serve. Number three, since the received an invitation to appear in these proceedings, I began collating, vetting, and consolidating all written communications, documents, tables, and matrices, and lists in my possession, the retrieval of which has been difficult since I retired from public service last August 2025. With the benefit of more time and greater freedom to access files, I am confident that I can provide even more material and relevant evidence that would clarify the issues once and for all. Number four, more importantly, I am executing and submitting this affidavit with my full and absolute consent as an integral part of my application to be admitted under the Witness Protection Program through the favorable recommendations of the Honorable Chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, Senator Ping Lacson, and the Honorable Senate President, Tito Soto, under Section 4, as well as Section 10 of Republic Act Number 6981, otherwise known as Witness Protection, Security, and Benefit Act before the Department of Justice. I attest and confirm that the names, dates, and transactions mentioned hereunder are based on my direct personal knowledge and have ample documentary support where necessary or desirable if given full opportunity to retrieve the same. Background facts. I earned my bachelor's degree in Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering in 1984. I'm a registered civil engineer by profession. In the year 1985, I began my 40-year stint in the Dpwh as a laborer. I then climbed the ranks through the years as Associate Civil Engineer, Engineer 2, Engineer 3, and as Assistant District Engineer, Assistant Regional Director. I then became Assistant Regional Director CESO 4 sometime in 2012 until my appointment as Assistant Secretary in 2016. I finally became Undersecretary more than a year later and remained such until my retirement on August 2025. I met former District Engineer Henry Alcantara during my assignment in the Laguna 2nd District Engineering Office. Engineer Alcantara, Engineer Bryce Hernandez, Engineer J.P. Mendoza, and Engineer Algie Jumasig all belong to the Bulacan 1st DEO. 2020-2040 scheme. Sometime after the State of the Nation address of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. in July 2025, and while I was already on sick leave, I heard from Secretary Bunoan for the first time that Engineer Alcantara, Engineer Hernandez, Engineer Mendoza, and Engineer Dumasig were engaged in contracting activities using the licenses of other contractors. Subsequently, Engineer Hernandez confirmed this arrangement through one of the legislative hearings and by other contractors whose license they used. According to Bryce Hernandez, their sharing is 20-20-20-40% from these activities. My understanding is that they had prepared and signed documents for purposes of collecting payments, which they then apportioned the profits amongst themselves. However, I must admit that I have no personal knowledge on the exact actions they took to accomplish this scheme, and I can only be asked general questions on the systems in place that would have allowed this modus operandi to happen. I categorically state that I have neither knowledge nor participation in these business activities, which were entirely done by Engineer Alcantara, Engineer Hernandez, Engineer Mendoza, and Engineer Dumasig on their own. ghost projects. At about the same time, after the 2025 SONA, I also heard for the first time that aside from the 2020-2040 scheme, were flood control projects, ghost projects, for which Engineer Alcantara, Engineer Hernandez, Engineer Mendoza, and Engineer Dumasig were also responsible. These were confirmed later by Secretary Bunaan during a separate legislative hearings. I called up Engineer Alcantara to ask him about these flood control ghost projects. He denied any participation. Subsequently, he likewise told me that he even convened the officers of Bulacan First DEO to confront them about these ghost projects, and that some officers, it was Engineer Hernandez, who was the primary person responsible for the same. In the exact words of Engineer Alcantara, si Bryce po yan. I categorically state that I have neither knowledge nor participation in these flood control ghost projects. Congressman Zaldico, my personal knowledge regarding Congressman Zaldico are set out as follows. Congressman Zaldico one time called me to say that he met Engineer Alcantara and wanted to confirm, maayos bang kausap si Engineer Alcantara? To which I replied, maayos po. Engineer Alcantara then told me that Kong Zaldico was asking for a 25% commission, and out of that amount, 2% was to be shared equally between Engineer Alcantara and myself. In his exact words, boss, hati na tayo sa 2%. Furthermore, Engineer Alcantara would tell me every time that he made deliveries of cash to Congressman Zaldico in compliance with his commitment to Congressman Zaldico. In this affidavit, I shall mention my personal knowledge regarding Senator Chiz Escudero as follows. Maynard Ngu and I are close friends, and we go years back. He is also a close friend and campaign contributor of Senator Chiz Escudero. Maynard Ngu asked me to submit a list of projects. I personally submitted a list of projects to Maynard Ngu, and some of the items therein pertaining to Valenzuela and Marinduque projects.
Naku po mga kababayan, ito po. Ito sa unang pasabog ni Secretary Bernardo na itong isang senator ngayon na nakaupo sa gobyerno na si Senator Chiz Escudero ay kasabwat sa pagnanakaw dito sa flood control project na tumatanggap ng kickback mga kababayan. Ako po. Maraming salamat mga kababayan. Ito po ang News That Matter. Huwag po natin kalimutan i-share, i-like at subscribe ang ating mga videos. At nang sa ganun, napapanood po ito ng ating mga kababayan dito sa Pilipinas at sa iba't ibang bahagi ng ating mundo. Maraming salamat po mga kababayan. Sa susunod po ng mga videos natin, abangan na naman po natin. Maraming salamat po. God bless.